Hello and welcome to another video, and today we had some quite big news in terms of BTCC. Obviously Toca have announced their official list of the TBLs for this season. 29 TBLs go out in total. That is one down what we originally had on last season. I imagine that's the what we're doing. The Matt Simpson TBL has gone missing. They've just kept down to 29. So let's just go through what we have got. So official list, we've got one TBL for BMR Racing, two for Ciceley Motorsport, three for BTC Racing. We've got two for Ciceley Motorsport, two for Ciceley Motorsport, one for Aidan Moffat Racing. We've got four for Motorbase Performance, two for PowerMax Racing, two for Speedworks Motorsport. We've got two for Team Dynamics. We've got three for Team Hard, two for Trade Price Cars Racing, and three for West Surrey Racing. So we quickly have a look at what's going on there, kind of what we expect. So BTC have still got three teams last year. They've got, obviously they've already announced Michael Crease and Josh Cook are staying with them. We do have the news today that Tom Chilton won't be staying with them, as he is announced as going to Ciceley Motorsport to be driving the second of the new 3 Series BMWs that Ciceley will be running that are built by WSR, so that'll be Adam Morgan and Tom Chilton driving the Ciceley cars. I'm not sure how much experience Tom's had in the recent years of driving rear-wheel drive, so whether that could be difficult. I'm not sure whether Adam Morgan will find it difficult too, but I think that's, for Ciceley, that's a positive move, going for a good, strong driver in Tom Chilton. I think he's been regular in the top 10 the last few years in the championship. I'm not sure exactly how many years, but he did well last year when that BTC F8 Honda didn't seem quite as good as it had been the year before. So strong move for Ciceley to get Tom Chilton in. I think Tom will be enjoying giving that BMW a go, because it probably is the best car on the grid at the moment. Just not sure how he will do driving with rear-wheel drive. We have then still got Accelerate Motorsport have got two TBLs as well as Trade Price Cars Racing. Got two. There was the announcement last year that we're joining together and doing a 4-car Hyundai team, and the only car driver on so far is Jack Butel for them. But they've at the moment both got two TBLs. I'm sure as sponsors and that come on in the next couple of months, we'll know more about that, how that is working. What else have we got? We've got PowerMax Racing that will be returning full time this year with their two TBLs. I think Jason Plato is confirmed. Not sure whether Matt Jackson is also confirmed. He's supposed to have that seat last year, but obviously PowerMax decided with COVID not to do the full race program, so he didn't race. Whether Matt Jackson still has that seat, I'm not too sure. Team Dynamics also as well staying with their two TBLs. It'd be interesting to see who they have. I think it would be surprised not to see Dan Camish there, but there's a few rumours that Matt Neal may be retiring. I think he might try and get one more season in there. I think he'll want to finish in front of fans. But rumours of either Henry Neal, his son, or Gordon Shen come back into it and taking that seat. And then the ones that is not too surprising is WSR are going back to a full 3-car team. Imagine Turkington will be in one of them cars, although we've seen a lot of strange things going on so far. We'd imagine Turkington will be in one of those cars, and they'll have two teammates, probably be something similar. Maybe Elephant will stay there, and there'll be a similar deal where Andrew Jordan normally had the car with the Pedic Racing. Maybe someone else will come in with their own sponsorship for that third car. So a few bits trying to look at through and work out. Obviously no Team Parker Racing on the list this year, and also no MB Motorsport. But I believe maybe perhaps that MB Motorsport one is to do with the fact that Motorbase now have 4 TBLs. So obviously they have 3. Motorbase had 3 last year, now got up to 4. With that merger, maybe perhaps Sean Hollenby has moved in to take charge of Motorbase instead of David Bartram, who's been there for a long time. Perhaps that's going to be 4 Fords driving there, maybe 2 classed as Motorbase and 2 classed as MB Motorsport in the championship. Not sure, but it'd be interesting to see how that goes. We've also got the news that Speedworks will be going up to a 2-car team. Recently we had the news that Tom Ingram surprisingly won't be driving for them next year, so maybe that's part of the reason. Maybe sponsorship deals around them now being a 2-car team is why Ingram is maybe decided they'll maybe been forced to move on. Apparently I've seen news that Speedworks have already got their drivers lined up and signed, and they'll be announcing them in the coming weeks. And the last news is to do with the Team Hard drives. So we did have Team Hard announcing they'll be joining up with Laser Tools Racing for next season, where they would be having 7 drivers. So I imagine from that we can see they've got Team Hard have got 3 TBLs. They've got Baldy Motorsport with 2, BMR have got 1, and Ada Moffat Motorsport have got 1. From what I can look at it, I'd imagine the 3 Team Hard TBLs will be Goff, Geddy, and perhaps an unnamed driver so far. The BMR drive might actually be Aaron Taylor Smith's drive in the Cooper. He did say when he was announced to drive for Team Hard in one of the Coopers that he had help from Warren Scott and Team BMR, so that's where I'm getting that from. Obviously, Aidan Moffat Racing is probably pretty self-explanatory that he'll be driving is Infinity under that banner, and the Baldy Motorsport, from what I can see, obviously one will be Baldy now moving over to drive one of those Infinities, and I'd imagine the other one will be Sutton. Someone else saying that the BMR one is actually Sutton's drive. I'm not sure whether that is. Maybe he's BMR. Sutton is doing the BMR TBL, and then Baldy Motorsport alone one of theirs back to Team Hard to use for the Cooper. Not quite sure the ins and outs. Obviously, Team Hard may come forward once the sponsorships come forward. We see how those Team Hard cars are separated. We'll see exactly how that is all going to work. But now, super exciting though. I'm not quite sure what's happened to Team Park, whether they just give up their TBL to someone else. I think I said Motorbase had 3 last year and MB Motorsport had 2, so if they just with the kind of maze together and going to run 4 Fords, one of them has moved on somewhere else. It's Speedworks an extra one, so interested to see who they bring in. Will Tom Ingram go? A lot of big announcements. I think is normally people kind of go, yeah, that's going to happen. I think this year could be a few more surprises come up the sleeves, especially now that the TBLs have been announced and some teams have said now, we know what we've got, we can kind of go forward, and I think a lot of announcements are going through thick and fast in the next few weeks, of course. That news today, that one more driver announcement has been, I think it was actually leaked a bit early, that Tom Chilton will be driving one of the BMW 3 Series for Ciceley, so that'll be interesting to see how he goes in the rear drive alongside Alan Morgan. Yeah, well, so what are other people's opinions on some of them? Who do you think is going where? Still lots of gaps still on the grid, up and down. As I said, normally you probably pen people in saying, yep, that's what's going to happen. We've already seen with Tom Ingram. Has announced that he's moving team, he hasn't announced who it is yet. That it all could be changed, it's going to be an interesting season, certainly. Exciting one, can't wait for it to get started. Thanks for watching this video, and more BTCC news soon, hopefully.